Hello and welcome back to Drone News Now. My name is Paul and welcome back to Drone UHQ. We've got some interesting news this week, starting out with the FAA and your best friend Elon Musk. That's because Elon Musk and the employees of SpaceX are headed to the FAA's air traffic control headquarters in Warrenton, Virginia, because, well, the FAA needs some changes and the agency is under heightened scrutiny following last month's deadly collision between a helicopter and a regional jet at Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. Details of that investigation are still underway, albeit there are some interesting details regarding the altimeter in that case. We'll have more on that in another show. SpaceX team members are essentially going to get a first-hand look at air traffic control and learn what air traffic controllers like and what they dislike about the current tools, the way that they do their jobs, and just how they can make a newer, better, safer system for the FAA as a whole. This is pretty much as the DOGE team sets their sights on the FAA after setting their sights on numerous other government agencies. In our next piece of news, it seems like the FAA is getting a little bit more strict about pilots flying in controlled airspace. More importantly, flying in TFRs or temporary flight restrictions, which drone pilots are never supposed to enter. In fact, a drone pilot's wild card gamble at M&T Bank Stadium gets grounded by the law. Let's talk about a no-fly zone. The game was actually temporarily suspended as authorities tracked down the drone pilot's movements, considering it a potential security threat. Now, the pilot was Suarez. He is now looking up to 3 years in federal prison for flying because it is a serious security threat. Authorities are saying that he broke multiple aviation laws. Goes to show, don't fly in TFRs, because we've got another story coming up in another news show where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the Palisades fire because there's new information coming out. In our next piece of news, Congress and Senate realize America's drone industry or drone usage needs to be subsidized. It's not what you think here. But the Congress and Senate are working together to help law enforcement get grants to buy drones. And it's not specific about whether it's American drones or Chinese drones. Long story short is Congress has cleared law enforcement for takeoff in drone funding, as the Drone Act of 2025 aims to give law enforcement first-class upgrade money by allowing them to use federal grants for purchasing and operating new drones. Again, they did not specify country of origin. There should be no more budgetary turbulence. Until now, drones weren't eligible under expenses like major grant programs under the Burn, JAG, and COPS grants. But this bill could clear these drones for law enforcement to get them and deploy them sooner. They say that drones are to the rescue, as the bill ensures that first responders can legally land federal dollars on this drone tech, enhancing public safety and emergency response as a whole. But it looks like the Chinese versus American drones is heating up once again now with the Department of Commerce. That's right, the BIS has put out an advance notice of proposed rulemaking, stating that they're looking for information regarding guidance on the true security risks and how to handle really domestic drone manufacturing and domestic drone use as a whole. They have a public comment. There's a list of, I believe, 16 questions that they're seeking information for, essentially trying to better understand the entire security threat as a whole and seeing if there is a much better solution than just banning the largest subset of drones in the country. Now, there have been other videos on this, but misleading would not be representative of the level of those videos. Either way, we're going to do a deep dive on this issue because this could actually be a phenomenal opportunity for drone pilots to showcase that we can really squash this domestic versus foreign manufacturing in more intelligent methodologies, as DJI has been blamed for security breaches, and it's even mentioned in critical infrastructure in the guidance on the Federal Register. For all those people saying there is no evidence of DJI security issues, they might want to go look at the government's website so they can correct themselves on YouTube, which they'll never do. Should be fun. That's actually going to do it for our drone news this week. And we should have another show tomorrow or the next day regarding the Palisades fire. Breaking news, the guy's getting in even more trouble. So we're going to have more about that in another show Let me know what you think. I don't have a crash of the week, unfortunately. Maybe that's a good thing. But also, I just want to say thank you for sticking around. If you want our longer form content, check out our Ask Drone U podcast. And if you want to learn how to take flight competently and confidently, and you actually want to learn from people who do it in the real world, in real life, unlike many others, then you're gonna want to check out thedroneu.com. Thanks for joining me today for another quick and dirty episode of Drone News Now.